Hey everyone, Joel Gill, Director of Student Ministries here at FCCO. This past Sunday, Pastor Dan talked about love. One type of love he mentioned was agape love, or God's love. This love is defined by seeking the best interest of others before ourselves. This is the kind of love God has for us. In God's relationship with us, He is always seeking our best interest. This kind of love from God has become obvious to me as of late. We've had a few tough weeks in our household with the death of 2 family members, funerals, and just being worn down. For me, the death of my grandmother brought about a lot of emotion of past guilt, regrets, anger, and other things I hadn't thought about in years. Many times over the past weeks, I've sat and wondered what God was doing. Why at this time was I dealing with these feelings? What was I to do with them? What did He want? This morning, I was brought to a familiar passage. Romans 8:28 and 29, which says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who've been called according to His purpose. This is agape love. God working all things for the good of those who love Him. I love God. How has He been working things for my good? It's verse 29 that really showed me how God is working for my good and loving me. Paul says, for those who foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son. As I look back over the past few weeks, I've seen that God has been conforming me into the image of His Son. He's been making me more like Jesus. I've had to deal with and let go of anger and other feelings, and in doing so, I've become more compassionate. I've become more patient. I've become more gentle. And these are just a few of the things I've seen. It all boils down to me becoming more like Jesus. I have a very long way to go to be like Jesus. But God, in His agape love for me, is working every day to make me more like His Son. I had this quote on my wall a while back. God loves us the way we are, but too much to leave us that way. And I'm glad that we can trust in God's unfailing love, His agape love, to love us right where we are, but continue to work for our good and conform us into the image of His Son. Be encouraged today as you feel God's love and you see Him conforming you into the likeness of His Son.